Beautiful morning, dear children. Welcome back to our English class. So, last week we started the chapter The Mysterious Visitor 1, and you all enjoyed the story, right? So, this week we'll be starting the story The Mysterious Visitor Part 2. So, it is going to be a continuation of the previous story. Shall we start? So, children, in the second part of the story, people came to arrest the mysterious visitor, but his strange secret allows him to resist, leading to a fight and general confusion. So, in that, Jaffers gets in. Okay, and he caught hold of the invisible man, who in turn held Jaffers painfully by the neck. So, however, what happened? Jaffers collapsed under a group of people trying to move out of the front door of the inn. So, what was the inn's name? It was Coach and Horses, right? And what happened is he was hit hard towards the ground, and the invisible man broke free of his hold and escaped. So Jaffers was left to the ground with his face looking up the sky, suggested that he died in the commotion. So this is how the play is ended. So now we'll just watch the remaining part of the video and discuss the exercises.
Hall cried out in fear and left the room, and people started running to get out of the door. The man they all had waited to see was a man without a head. People on the road heard the shouting and gathered at the door to try to see what was going on. A small group tried to help Mrs. Hall, who had collapsed again. There was a noise from behind, and the people saw Mr. Hall, the pub owner, and Mr. Wadgers, the blacksmith, coming towards the pub with Mr. Bobby Jaffers, the policeman. They had come to take the visitor to prison. Mr. Hall was the first at the visitor's room, and he pushed open the door for Jaffers to take him. "That is the man!" The man without the head, who had some food in his hand, gave an angry exclamation.
"What the devil is this?"
Jaffers told the visitor that he would be sent to prison. On hearing this, the visitor jumped back and put the food down. As Hall lifted a sharp knife from the table, the visitor pulled off his left glove and threw it into Jaffers' face. Jaffers held him by an arm, while Hall pushed the knife towards Wadgers. Jaffers told Hall to get the visitor's feet. Hall tried to obey, but was kicked in the ribs, making him lose his hold. But Wadgers fled, knife in hand, and the visitor held Jaffers, pinned to the ground. Mr. Huckster, a store owner, and another man came to help Jaffers. The visitor said that he would stop. He looked strange without any head or hands, for he had pulled off his other glove too. He began to take off his coat and shoes. Huckster put out his hand, and it hit the man in his eye. He gave an exclamation and said that he was all there, but that he was only invisible. He tried to argue that being invisible could be no reason for the police to arrest him. Jaffers pointed out that he was being arrested because the priestess' house had been robbed that morning, and all the evidence pointed towards him. As they talked, the invisible man collapsed into the chair and quickly pulled off his shoes, socks, and pants. Then he jumped up and pulled off his coat. Jaffers at once understood what was going to happen and tried to hold on to the man's shirt. But a shirt sleeve hit him strongly in the face, and he fell backward. He moved his stick through the air, trying to hit the man, but it only hit Teddy Henfrey's head. There was utter confusion, and all of them tried to hit and were instead hit in turn. Wadgers opened the door to leave, but no one was able to move through the narrow doorway. Jaffers did not stop hitting with his stick, and feeling a body between himself and Huckster, he held on to it. The invisible prisoner held Jaffers round the neck, and the whole group slowly made its way out of the front door and down the steps of the Coach and Horses. The policeman tried to cry for help, but was not able to breathe. He collapsed under the others, and his head hit the hard road. At last, the prisoner was free of Jaffers' hold, and through it all he was able to run away. The people ran like the wind to all parts of the town, and Jaffers was left lying on the ground, his face looking up at the sky.
So children, page number 96, you have comprehension. Tick the correct options that you can do it by yourself. Next we have read the sentence and answer the questions. All it is empty clothes. Look. Who said these words? Yes, Mr. Huckster, the store owner, said these words. B. What did the speaker unknowingly do immediately after he said this? So immediately after the speaker said this, he put out his hand and hit something in the middle of the air, which was the invisible man said were his eyes. Second question. And it all points to you. Who said these words to whom? The policeman, Mr. Jaffers, said these words to the invisible man. Next, B. What does it refer to here? So, the it here refer to the robbery that took place at the priest's house, Vicar's house that morning. Okay. C. How does the listener respond to his accusation? The listener denied the accusation and said, "What foolish talk." Next, third one. But it is the rule. A. Who said these words to whom? The policeman, Mr. Jaffers, said these words to the invisible man. Next, B. What rule is being referred to here? So, the rule was that the suspect, here it is the invisible man, should be handcuffed. And the last one. What practical problem did the speaker face regarding the rule? So, the problem that Mr. Jaffers faced regarding the rule was that he could not see the wrist of the mysterious visitor since he was an invisible man. Okay, then you have question answers. First question, who were the three men who came into the visitor's room and why had they come? So it was Mr. Hall, Mr. Jaffers and Sandy Wadgers. Okay, and you have to write it in your classwork. I'll send you the question answers, write it neatly and legibly in your classwork notebook. Next, why did Huckster pull his hand back with a cry of surprise? Yes, Huckster pulled his hand back with a cry of surprise because when he put out his hand, what happened? Yes, it hit something in the middle of the air and the invisible man said that it had hit him in the eye. Third one, what reason did Jaffers give for taking the invisible man into custody? Because, yes, there was a robbery which happened in the Vicar's house and all circumstances pointed to the invisible man being the culprit. And the last question, how did the invisible man finally break free of Jaffers' grasp and what happened to Jaffers? Yes, finally what happened? Yes, Jaffers was left to the ground with his face looking up to the sky, suggesting that he died in the commotion. Okay, when the invisible man hit him. Okay, children, when there was a fight, he was put down. Okay, so these are all the question answers. So write your classwork neatly with legible handwriting. Thank you, children. Have a great day. Complete all your classwork, okay, all the subjects, and try to revise for your upcoming exams. Okay, children, take care and have a great day.